So this is the underpainting. If you've seen this video, you will see the underpainting video. This is the continuation of that to the first color layers. We're going to start off by oiling down the canvas. We're just using a fan brush to do that. You can use any kind of brush. Lots of times I use a flat, but the last couple of things I've been using this fan brush and it works just as good. Yeah, sometimes I just like to try to change things up a little bit from what I've been doing just to see if there's something better. I'm not sure how much of this painting we'll try to finish today. Yeah, we'll get a bunch of it done. Okay. Some Oto's paint thinner. Alright, now we're going to want to wipe that down. Being sure not to take the Oto's paint thinner up there. Now this allows us to work right against the wet canvas without having to add medium to the brush. I think I'll start off with this brush and see how this does for me. Okay, I'm going to create this background here first, and then we'll create the background here first. These are both background, so we'll try to see what we can do there. So let's mix up some paint for that. I want a kind of a grayish color. So I'm going to take some burnt umber. For some reason I have a chunk there. So I'm going to take 1 part burnt umber, 2 parts burnt umber. I'm going to add 1 part of it'll come to me in a minute. Ultramarine blue to that. And then, let's see, let's just put, I thought I had some white on this palette. Alright, oh, I'll put some white on there. Oh, there it is right there. But it's just a little bit. Alright. Now, so we'll just add some white to that. Just making a nice gray using burnt umber and ultramarine blue and some titanium white. All right, let's try that. Let's see how that looks. Not too worried about getting this on her hair. I can take that back off later with a Q-tip toothbrush. I love doing live videos because it's always amazing to see what I'm going to screw up next. Oh gosh, my goodness gracious. So all this background is going to be kind of splotchy before it's done, but so this value is okay for part of this, but it's not really It worked good for the splotchy part, but it's not gonna. I think I'll add some more ultramarine blue to this in a minute. I want to make this darker. And close to her face. I'm kind of free with this brush. A little synthetic brush. I don't use a lot of synthetic brushes, but this one's okay, I guess, for what I'm trying to do here. A little more paint. Probably in the early stages of this, I could have just made the background darker to start with, but the underpainting, but it's okay. All right, let's darken this up a little bit. I want to add some more blue if I've got any left there. I think I do. I don't need a lot. A little bit more burnt umber. All right, let's see how this looks. That's a little darker. And I may come back and put another coat on this later. We'll see. We'll see. I want this to be darker still, so let me. I want this to have, you know, a Renaissance style kind of look to it. So that it has a really dark background, really dark. It's getting there. So it's a lot different than most anything I've painted so far, so you know, it's going to be a little experimentation here and there. Here and there and here, as Mr. Bob used to say. Of course, Bob didn't do portraits, but a ton of stuff, but so I'm leaning forward a little bit to give my arm a rest. I got I don't want to keep talking about my torn rotator cuff, but I don't recommend that you lean on your easel so much, but okay. Now let's just finish this part. This is exciting, ain't it? Probably not. All right. Now this part, over here is like dark, 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 dark. We're going to blend all this in a minute. Try to pull as many brush marks out of here as we can. Now I think I'm going to go even darker still. So let me darken this gray up a little bit more. I want this to be like really dark. And in this part, like right in here. Under this blanket, all this area, really dark. Okay. All right. Now, let's kind of work on this piece. And let's make it with a little bit of, let's just start off with yellow ochre. And again, we'll go back and blend this a little bit. I want to let it set up a little bit because it feels a little slick right now. Okay. Now let's work. I'm happy with this shadow pretty much right here, but I want to straighten this line. Actually, I think I'll do that with a different brush, though. Let's just do that with a flat, with a angle brush. I just think it'll be easier for me. I don't have to have it completely straight. I mean, after all, it is a painting. It's not a photograph. Okay. Let's do a little bit of blending here. Let's do that with a fan brush. And I think in order to get this right, I'll just kind of pull this down. Then I'll clean that up later. All right. I think I want this floor to kind of be at an angle like that. So we'll just pull the shadows that way too. And then we'll fix it. Okay. Let's clean this young lady back out again. Some Q-tips. And this should pull her back out of the wall. It'll push the wall back again, or pull her out of the wall, however you want to care to see it. It's up to you how you want to see it. Get some new ones. Stick to this bigger stuff first, then we'll go back and work these fingers a little bit more. All right, well, okay, I guess my hand has other ideas about what it wants to do. Oh, still didn't get her face though, did I? Let's work that part. It's important to get all of this off of her face because a lot of light colors there. All right, just about got it. See a little extraneous paint right here. All right. Now, when you apply darker color like this, I will tell you, and be careful when you let it drift on, because sometimes it makes it a little difficult to see where your sketch is, even if you've got a really light color like this underneath of it. So just be careful, that's all. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to splotchy this up a little bit just to give it some extra character. So we'll put a little bit of gray and a little bit of yellow ochre in here, catching up a little bit of light off the wall. We have to make up some more of that gray here in a second. Let's just pick up some and do it now. And that's okay, because, you know, we want to kind of vary the shades back and forth. We'll merge all that together when we blend it. It'll look so nice. I hope. All right, now this color here, this under here, will just kind of stay dark. It doesn't have to be as dark as the black in the corner, but a little more of this yellow. Okay. Let's clean that brush. Alright, we'll set that to the side for a second. Let's get a fan brush. We're going to have to redo that little bit of a line that I put in there. But we'll do that after we blend. But it's okay. I'll use a different fan brush. It might be a little softer. Let's try this. There we go. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. All right. Now, we're going to clean up that blanket. Clean these brushes. And then I think we're going to let that sit and let that dry for tomorrow. And then we'll, well, I don't know. I think we can go ahead and paint this furniture. Why not? And I want to do that. Let's see. Let's clean this blanket off first. All right, let's go ahead and do some of this chest thing. And to do that, we're going to use ultramarine violet. We're going to start with ultramarine violet. We'll see how that goes. Now, I have not used this color a lot, but we're going to see how it goes. I want to use a little bit of that and we'll probably use a little bit of dioxazine purple before we get done. But let's get started. So I'm going to take a little bit of that, a little bit of white, and put this top in here. Alright, we might be able to just hold that color and make it just a little bit darker. Let's try that. Yeah, it's okay. We can darken it a little bit more here, a little bit. As we're applying it, so we're bringing it in close to this dark spot. Just wiping the paint out of the brush. Now, we're going to go clean the brush off like that, just to wipe it off. We're going to take this lavender. We're going to cut these lines in just to make them a little bit darker. We can do this one of two ways. We can insinuate them, or we can just like insert them. And I'm not sure which one I like best, but right now we're just going to put them in. We'll make up our mind later. We'll get down to final touches. You can see right there I ran out of paint, and when I did, it cut right through the paint that was underneath it. So, all right. Okay, now that part. I'll clean the brush. I'm going to set that brush aside for a little bit. I think I'm probably done with it for right now. It doesn't go there. Where does it go? Right there. And I don't know what I need. Maybe let's try this little brush. I don't know. That feels kind of stiff. I want to take this shadow right here and kind of blend it out. Not blend the shadow away, but to make it softer. I don't really want that cut look. That brush is awful stiff. There we go, that looks better. Okay. That looks better. Okay, so there we go. We're going to leave that sit now. Overnight. Well, okay, we might have to leave it sit for 2 days. But I'm hoping by tomorrow it'll be dry and we'll be ready to go with that. So, I hope you guys are enjoying this, and stay tuned for the next part. Bye. Alright, so I have this synthetic here. We're going to try this out and see how this works for me. Alright, so let's start off and let's apply some. I pre-mixed these skin colors. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, silly rabbi. Alright, first before we do that, we got to oil down the canvas. So I'm just going to oil down the parts that I'm intending on painting. Well, it's pretty dry. I guess I could do the whole thing. Let's just do this part, though. I don't feel like doing it all. But I guess I better do it all. I can't make up my mind. I do have quite a bit of hit. I don't want to create like a glassy area and then a dull area. So let's just do the whole area. Probably not gonna have a whole lot to say till I get this part done. Most people would be happy about that. All right. Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Let's clean that brush. I do notice that here on the floor I've got a little bit of run from something. I don't know what caused that. So anyway, let's go ahead and start off working on this little girl. So we'll start off with just some normal skin color. Now I've pre-mixed these colors. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different skin color tone things that I could use on this canvas. So we'll see how this goes. This is the mid-tone. I think mostly I don't know, once I get the skin tone covered. So this has got this will add some color to the skin without some warmth to the skin without actually blocking it all in. So this is just a light glaze, real light glaze here. Add some warmth, adding some warmth. All right. Now let's start adding some shadow in. Let's try this shadow. So now I want to kind of cover these pencil marks. So we're going to put that on a little thicker. These pencil marks were really just for covering up the shadow. I mean, to tell me where to delineate the shadows. I probably could have done this without delineating that, but as I say, I don't usually paint anything twice, so you know I'm not planning on coming back and doing this again. So all right, and then we got some okay. Make sure that brush. I don't think I'll use that brush. All right, I'm gonna switch to a fan brush. I don't want that one though. So these are Zem brushes, CEM. I like them. I've used them a few times before. I wear them out, but that's okay. Okay. I'm not going to clean that brush. I'm just going to work on it some, just lay it out some. All right, let's go to the darker shadows. That's kind of the mid-tone shadow. Let's get some of these darker shadows in. Okay, let's add a little bit of this darker shadow to these fingers. And this thumb. And around her hair a little bit. And then we've got a dark shadow on her cheek. And I'm just going to add a little extra shadow right there as well. All right. Let's go back to the mid-tone shadow a little bit. This might still be too dark yet at this. All right, so we're going to have to clean this brush. All right, so we're going to clean this with baby oil today instead of odorless paint thinner. So in cleaning this with baby oil, really the first thing you want to do is wipe the brush out. So let's do that. And just swiffing it back and forth on my paper towel is not going to do. Just kind of wipe it out like this. And then just kind of brush it back and forth in the baby oil. It's got a little scrubber in the bottom. So, you know, there's that. And then just kind of make sure we get all that baby oil out. This is my Artscape brush. Okay, so let's go back to this kind of a mid-tone. Now we're going to add some highlight to this as well, but okay, that looks pretty good. I think I'll use this brush to just do the blending. Make sure I got it nice and clean though. I picked this color brush because it's a synthetic, it's very soft. I turned it over that time just to do the blending because I was starting to pick up a little bit of paint. So, you know, we just kind of blend all this. And I think I want a little bit darker shadow, like right in here. I think this leg is a little more in shadow than the other one. Okay, and then maybe even some gray right in here. Okay. Okay. Let's start working on the highlight now. There's quite a bit of highlight in this picture. So I mixed these paints a couple of days ago because I thought I'd come right back to them, and then I didn't think I was going to go a couple of days without sleep, so I'm kind of wore out. But so we're picking up a little bit of that color, but that's okay. We knew that when we put it down, so it's okay. It's all good. Okay, now, but we've lost doing that, I lost the thing. So I'll tell you what, before we put that dark color back in it, let's Let's add a little more warmth to that. Let's put a little bit more warmth in here. We got a little bit too much highlight here off of her face. So we'll just brush that back. There we go. That looks better. And then this line here is a little bit off target. There we go. That looks better. Okay. Now let's bring this like that. There we go. And then a little bit of this darker color. Even a little bit darker, maybe. Okay. All right. Let's clean the brush again. Okay, back to the highlight. So this highlight is going to run, I'm going to be really easy with this, it's going to run down her forehead and along her nose, the edge of her nose, like that. And then let's try this. I don't think I want that much shadow, so we're going to use a little cooler shadow. Hopefully I can blend this without doing too much. All right, kind of missed it. All right, that sort of worked, but didn't do exactly what I wanted. So let's get a fine line brush. And let's get some darker color. Okay, so let's clean that. All right, we're getting there. Okay, we're working it. All right, now we want this. Then we want some of this highlight color. I need to turn that tune it. I need to bring that brush to a really super sharp point because it's going to be kind of rounded. darker color. Didn't pick it up. I may have to remix this dark color because it's kind of. Let's use this one. Let's see if we can use this one. Yeah. All right. Okay, so we're gonna have to mix up another color. So let's do that. It's coming along pretty good, but that's what happens. Okay, so so the colors I will need to make gray. Ultramarine blue, so I'll put over here on the palette. And burnt umber, which is already on the palette, but it's dried, so set the squeeze out a little bit more. And then I think I'm probably add a little bit of titanium white. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. So let's do that. Where's my little knife? Of course, it's on the other side of the table. Oh, that was close. All right, so let's just mix this right here where you guys can see it. So let's do that. All right, so we'll pick one part of burnt umber. It's about that big. One part of ultramarine blue, which is going to be a little bit smaller. And then one part of titanium white. All right, let's blend that. And let's mix that. Yeah. You can see it's a nice gray, but we want to make sure we get it all mixed up. Okay, now I want this to be a little lighter than that. Just a little too dark for the gray that I want to use. And a little bit more titanium white. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, so there you go. Now you can see that this gray is a little more neutral than this color that I originally mixed, but it's okay. Usually, well, what I try to do is mix the paint up in advance, and then I didn't get back to it, so whose fault is that? Mine. Okay, let's clean the knife. Okay, put everything back that we had, so it's got a fan brush to put back. Okay, a little bit of that gray. I'm using the super fine line right now because I'm going to mix that with a little bit of this Caucasian color because I don't. I like that. That's okay. Looks pretty good. All right, let's work on her. Let's finish up her skin tone, I guess, and then we'll work on the rest of it. Put this brush back, and let's pick this one up. Okay, let's get a little more of this shadow color in. I think I want a little bit of highlighting with this. A little bit of this shadow's a little too dark, but that's okay. We'll lighten it up a little bit. So I'm just taking some of the highlight color and adding to this. Okay. Now, before we go too far, before I forget, let's put a little blush where her lips are going to be. And you're not really seeing a lot of her lips. You're just kind of seeing like a little bit of that. And then a little bit of this gray shadow kind of a thing. Okay, look at that. And then we've got, again, some of this. We're seeing her cheek out here. And then some shadow. I think that's... So let's see. I'm gonna have to put this back together in little bitty pieces. There's her chin, the dimple in her chin. Okay, now let's just. I don't like that. Let's take it back off. Mouths are probably one of the hardest things to paint. But let's get it. Let's paint what we see and not what we think. Okay, so her face, her let's get her nose straight first, maybe. Okay. Okay, so let's just do this. Let's paint what we see. All right, let's get her nose straightened out. And then we have like her Cupid's bow. And then we have the list of her mouth. Like that. And then a little bit, just a tiny bit of her lips. Like that. Yeah, that's better. All right, and then we have like this chin part. It's kind of curvy. There we go. Okay, now then. All right, let's clean this brush up. I think we might be done with that for now. And let's start working on this dress thing. And I think we'll work with the outline first. So let's go to an angle brush. Yeah, I don't like this angle brush as much. I don't like this angle brush very much. This is a Master's Touch. What is that? Hobby Lobby brand? I don't know. I don't remember. But it doesn't matter. I'm not going to use it. Okay, so it doesn't matter, except not to buy another one. All right, so let's take care of some of the rest of this color. All right, so we've kind of got some gray in here. Like that. And then some gray this way. You might say, now, why are you making that gray? Well, because I'll be blending it here in a second, and the gray will be there, and it'll smooth right into the lines, and that'll be nice. I hope. We'll find out, won't we? And since you're kind of following along with me, there's no spoilers, unless I put a voiceover in and go, oh, hey, here's what happened. And I have no plans for that. So, you know. Okay, that's coming together pretty good. Okay. I just noticed in looking at this that I didn't wipe this back down when I started. So yeah, it's a little slick, but it's okay. I think we can deal with it. Okay. I'll work on the rest of this some more in a minute, but let's go ahead and start working on this highlight stuff. Now her dress is white, but it's not as white as, it might even be whiter than this highlight. So maybe, I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's apply some more of this highlight. Let's make her a little more pale. I think the next time I mix this color, this paint, I'll mix more. Last time I mixed it, and I had enough to last me like 3 months, and it eventually dried up. So, but it's a lot of mixing, so I try to do it all at one time, and I think that might have been a mistake that I shouldn't make. Okay, now let's just blend that a little bit. Okay. And then let's go just, I don't know about this titanium white. Let's go with this titanium white. I'll make a decision here. I'm going to make a command decision here. And let's mix that with a little bit of ultramarine blue. Just, and I mean an absolute positive touch of, just a touch. Fall down if you want to, I don't care. All right, so I'm gonna get this color. Where'd my knife go? Here it is. I use a different set of knives for this than I do for my, what is that? Okay, tell you what, before we do that, let's do this. I've already mixed the color, evidently, for her dress. So let's try it. It's right there on my palette. Don't have much of it though. Hope I have enough. All right, so if you watch my channel very often, you've seen me turn my canvas. You're about to see me do it again. Turn it to suit me so I can use my arms a little more effectively to pull things around. Okay, so let's do it. Let's turn it this way. All right. So I want to be able to pull the brush and the color in the direction of the cloth. So at least as I perceive it. We're going to blend this when we get done. Now we're going to highlight this some more in a second, but this is where the underpainting becomes so important. Well, that was weird. Okay, I wipe the color on and then I wipe the color off. Clean the brush. I think I just got some contamination, that's all. All right. All right. It's coming along pretty okay, I think. Oop. Now we will come back and add another color to this in a second. And you can see with this color, just so you know what it is, it's a cool highlight. And you can see now how the darks are blending in with that. Wiping the color on, we'll blend it here in a second. I gotta really watch it. I keep wanting to go back over to that. I'm just going to wipe that brush because I think I might have picked up some color. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Staying in the cool. I have to turn it again. Oh, hope I don't drag my arm this time. Now, we're going to not infringe upon that line there too much. I'm going to leave that highlight color in, and I'm going to go over here and add some shadow underneath, like her dress right there. And then I'm going to clean it up a bit because it's a little crooked, but it's okay. It's all right. Here we go. Okay. Last of the cool highlight right here, coming up. And then we're going to blend it. So I'm going to clean this brush and throw that Q-tip away. Wipe this out. I'm feeling pretty good about this so far. I still got to put her hair in and stuff, but it's not so bad. Like, I still see a couple areas that, right here, got her chin a little too deep. It's okay, there we go. All right. Okay. All right, let's come back with a lighter highlight now, and I think we'll just use titanium white. I'm going to start off, First of all, let's go with this little bitty brush. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I don't know where it is, but here's one anyway. I'll use this one. Titanium white. And we will just put that brush down. And we will just put our fingernails in. Just wiping a little clump of paint off the end of that brush because I just need a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit. Like that. And clean the brush. I'm happy with that. Okay, highlight. So we got some just pure white, and we're going to put that like right on this side, just pure titanium white. Like that. And on her sleeve. And then we're also going to add it right here. Okay, that's a little too much paint. I don't want to force it, so a little bit like right here. Like that. And then maybe a little bit like right in here. Just to give that some shine. All right. I'm so used to cleaning with odorless paint thinner that when I switch to baby oil, it always gives me a time. It's livening me up though. I was feeling really tired today, so. Okay. Okie dokie dokie dokie. Let's let that sit for a minute, and let's start working on this blanket. Now this blanket, it shouldn't be too hard to do. We'll just mix up some yellow ochre and some titanium white, I think. And let's just kind of paint this in. We're going to paint that relatively light because we don't want the underpainting. We do want the underpainting to show through, so. So we're not going to get too wild with this. Okay. Now this part, the rest of this is really dark. I don't have any really dark, do I? Okay. Well, let's do this. Let's make some really dark. Okay, that would be the wrong color. Let's don't use that. Let's go. I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Let's do something different. Let's go with this bookcase is sort of a purplish brown. So let's take just a touch of dioxazine purple. God, I'll never get that out of the paintbrush now. All right, and let's just put this in. See how this looks. All right, some purple. And maybe a little bit of burnt umber. All right, through this really dark part down here. Okay, I think that'll be good. Okay, so that brings us to the hair. Hair is always, I just cleaned that brush and put this paint there. Alright, so let's clean it again. Baby oil. Okay, time to do the hair. And then we're going to come back and touch this spot right here because it's a little out of whack. Oh hell let's just fix it now. All right, and then we're going to fix that shadow right there. So this has gone a little too far out. And then we kind of messed up the shadow right there, so let's just fix that real quick. Why can't I get that right? Here we go. All right, that's fixed. But I think I want that shadow to be a little darker. So let's add a little burnt umber to that. Okay, still not satisfied with it. You guys ever have one of those days? You probably do. And it's not even Monday. When I'm recording this, it's on a Tuesday. So, like, this shouldn't be happening. I know. The audience don't care. Just get it done. Okay, I'm working on it. I got some of this really, I don't know if it's still usable. Let's try it. I would like this to be darker. There we go. Like that. Now let's gray it. Okay, let's clean it and let's try it. Okay, now let's throw a little gray in on top of that. That's what I was looking for right there. All right, now let's dress up her skin right there on that side with this darker skin tone shadow. Get it out of the... There we go. All right, that's good. That's good. Okay, now we can do the hair. Okay, so the last few times I've done a painting, I've used a filbert to put in the hair. So I'm going to try that again because it works for me pretty good. And we will start with just burnt umber. And okay, so the hair kind of needs to come out this way. And then around this way. And I'm really surprised that the burnt umber is gliding across this oil as smoothly as it is. But yay, I think. I hope. Now, I'm going to get down here a little bit farther. Yep, there's a piece of hair that comes out like this. And then some more that kind of comes out like that. And then some more that kind of drapes over onto her nightgown like that a little bit. Okay, so I'm kind of happy with that, I think. But I still have to put highlights on. So we're going to go with this light yellow ochre for the highlights, and I want the highlights to be kind of just like that. Maybe a little bit of a touch of that right here. And quick as that. I want to do one, what I think is one. Okay, oh, I got to fix that shadow. Okay, so I'll tell you what, we're going to go back to the dioxazine purple. Okay, that's not it. Is it? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Go back to dioxazine purple. I'm going to add a little bit more darker shadows in here. So I want them to be okay. Now, I got a little bit of a highlight right there by her nose that I don't like. It's, let me back up. Let me back up and look at it. I still don't like it, so I'm going to fix it. I hope not mess it up, but it's a little bit too much of a highlight right here. It's enough paint, I think. And then we need like there we go. No, that's not right. There we go. All right, and then we're going to let that. Okay, maybe not. All right, I'm going to try a little bit more something. I know. Look at the time at the bottom of the video, and you'll have an idea about when I actually did finish this painting. All right, I just want to add a little bit more. I like right here. I just want to kind of close that in. There we go. Okay, I think that's it.